All right. So you'll see there's a gear and what's called a rack. A rack and a pinion is basically what this is. So a gear and then a straight sort of actuator thing. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna attach those together so that the gear actually rolls along that track. Um, so these parts you can get them. Did everybody find the folder on the home page in Canvas of all the exercise files? If not, I can navigate to that really quick and show you where it is. Let's go. I have way too many tabs open on my browser. I just closed a bunch. All right. Um, I'm one of those people that like opens tab after tab after tab, and I end up with like 20 tabs open in my browser, and then it crashes. I don't know if anybody else is like that. People always have made fun of me for it. Like, why do you open so many tabs? Just close them. And I'm like, well, what if I need it later? Yeah. Mhm. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I've always felt a little silly, like I'll realize I've got, you know, 20 tabs open and I'm like, well, this is full. I'll just open a new browser window. And it gets to a point where it doesn't matter that I'm leaving everything open because I'll never find it anyway. I've got so many tabs open. It'd take me longer to search through them for the thing that I need than it would to just navigate to that page again. But I don't know. It's like hoarding or something, but with internet tabs in your browser. I don't know. Anyway, so this is you can obviously see this is the homepage for the course in Canvas. Down here at the bottom, you'll see this little link. It's the SolidWorks 2017 Basic Tools Exercise Files.zip. If you click on that, you can download. It's a zipped folder, and then once you have that, you want to extract it, and it'll save it all into a temp folder. So I'll show you where I've got it. Um, oh, really? You can't open it? I can open it here. Oh, man. Is it like private or something? Shoot. Yeah. Was it not working earlier either? Oh, okay. Huh. Where did I send it earlier? Did I just send it to you in Discord? I'm trying to remember. Okay, let's see. Let me see where. Okay, so yeah, if you all go into the MEC 120 chat, hopefully you can download it from there. I guess I didn't realize it wasn't working here, but let's see. Oh yeah, Jason sent it. So okay, so yeah, you'll actually need the whole file. So I'll send the um whole thing in Discord, I guess. Where was it? There it is. No, that's not it. Oh man. All right. One second. I'll figure this out. Yeah, it's not. Jason sent one folder in there. For the assembly that you did in class, but this whole folder that's on Canvas is not in there. So I downloaded it earlier. I just need to find it again. Oh man, if I can. Where are you seeing that one? Oh. Um, that link goes to your lab, I think. I just clicked it and it opened your lab for this past week. And then, okay, and then, so are you able to get it here in the lab? Okay, cool, that's it then. So, okay, so I guess if you go to lab 4.5, so that'll be in assignments, and then just navigate to lab 4.5 and use that link. I'm not sure why the homepage link isn't working then. That's weird, because they're the same thing, but I'll fix that at some point. So, no worries. So, if you go into Canvas and you go to your assignments over here on the left, and then you go to just scroll down to labs and it'll be lab 4.5. And I also linked the folder there. So once you go into lab 4.5, you can download it from right there. And hopefully, I guess that one is working for everyone, hopefully. So if it still doesn't work, let me know. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh man. Ooh. Ooh. That's not great. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get the folder that you need, and I'm just going to send that to you on Discord. Okay. All right. If it does actually take a long time, I'll just send you this one anyway. So, where did I put it? Okay, let's see. Figure this out real quick. Yeah, so you're going to want to go to the Chapter 11 folder and just pull that one out. And then in there, there's going to be another subfolder called Rack and Pinion Mates. And that's the one we'll be using. And I'm going to go ahead and just upload it on Discord too. There you go. So if you just want to, if your connection isn't quite as fast and you just want to download that one folder, that's fine too. That's what we'll be using. But at some point, I think it will be a good idea to download that whole folder full of exercise files just because they're kind of handy. They're great for practice. You know, you're going to have SolidWorks, you're going to have the student license for a while. I know we're kind of approaching the end of the quarter here, but um, we've got like 2 more weeks until two more classes until finals, because there's no class next week because it's Memorial Day. So, so yeah, it's coming up quick. Kind of snuck up on me, but um, so uh, once everybody has that, we'll go ahead and start the exercise here. Let me find it again. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download. So just take that. Let's see. See if I can. Sorry, my brain is going faster than my mouth right now, so let me just. Oops. All right. So, so you're gonna go into your folder that you downloaded, and if you downloaded the whole thing, it's gonna be chapter 11. And then in your textbook, also go to the beginning of chapter 11. And in that chapter 11 folder that you downloaded, there's going to be a subfolder called Rack and Pinion Mates. So open that up, and you'll want to copy all three items in there. So there will be two parts and one assembly in that folder. You'll want to copy all three of those to somewhere so you have them all saved in the same place. The thing with assemblies is that you can only open an assembly if you have downloaded or saved all of the parts that are in the assembly somewhere on your computer, and SolidWorks can trace them to that location. So you need to, if these are like in a temp folder or something, if they're not, if they're not saved to like your hard storage space on your computer, then you won't be able to open the assembly. You'll need to, so yeah, so that's why you'll need to copy both parts, save them somewhere, and then open the assembly file, and you should see this gear and this uh, rack and the pinion. So let me know if anyone has trouble getting there and opening those. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and continue on. Is everyone good? All right. So, chapter 11, we're going to go to page 11-2, using advanced mates. And this is just one type of advanced mate, but this is kind of a cool little, intro to what kinds of advanced mates you can do. And there's a lot more you can do besides what we're going to cover in this exercise, but this is kind of a common and useful one to have in your pocket to know how to, know how to use. So I always like to go through this exercise. So on page 11-3, you're going to, once you have this assembly open, you're going to click the mate command from the assembly toolbar. So you should be in your toolbar at the top here. You should be in the assembly tab. And then up here there's this little paper clip, and that's mate. I'm sure Jason went over this with you last week, so I'm probably repeating some stuff. But once you click mate, you're gonna go into your feature manager tree, which is this area right here where you can see all the components of your assembly. So you've got your rack and your gear. And let's see, what it wants us to do. So you're going to expand each of these, and within the part, you're going to select the front plane. So within the rack, you want to select the front plane. And then within the gear, you also want to go down and select the front plane. Is everyone with me there? Anyone stuck? No worries. Okay, yeah, I'll try to slow down a little. I know I'm never sure if I'm like going too fast or too slow or whatever. So, all right. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to use this little paper clip. I'll actually just X out of here. I'll start over. So you got your two parts here. Right now you can kind of move them around freely. They're not attached to each other. So if you grab one, you're going to grab the other one as well. Or you're going to move it without grabbing the other one as well. So you're going to go to your little paper clip up here in the assembly tab. You're going to click that. And you've got this mate selections box here. So that's where you want to put in the parts of your components that you're mating. So for these two components, we want to mate the front plane of each one. So you're going to go into your feature manager tree, which is this right here. You're going to expand that by clicking that little arrow. And then you've got your rack here. So if that's not already expanded, you want to expand that by clicking the little arrow. And in your rack, you can go down to its front plane. So you'll notice, because these are two separate parts, the assembly field, I guess you could call it, has its own planes. It's got its own origin and its own right, top, and front planes. But then each part within your assembly also still has its own planes and its own origin. So, so we're going to mate the front planes of both of our parts to each other. So we're going to click the front plane of the rack, and then we're going to go down to our gear, and we're going to click the front plane of the gear. And you see they kind of move to where those front planes line up now, because the default selection here is coincident. And we actually do not want the coincident option. We want the parallel option. So we're going to click that, and you'll see this moves back up here. It says, okay, we don't need the front planes to be in the same spot. We just need them to be parallel to each other. Is everyone with me on that? Did that clarify or just make it more confusing? Okay. So, so you can see mine are actually also not. I made the two front planes parallel, so make sure you click that little parallel icon there underneath your mate selections. Make sure you have front plane at rack 1 and front plane at gear 1 in your selections box. And then make sure that your parallel option is selected here. Does that help? Cool. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and click OK if is everyone there? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right, so now they're parallel to each other. So now if I grab this one, I can spin it. I can move it forward and back, but I can't turn it. Remember before when I grabbed it, it would just turn freely, because now it's set up so that it has to be parallel to the rack here. So because this is an exercise file, they've already put in, whoever created this exercise file, the SolidWorks people or whatever, have put in a bunch of mates and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you can see down here there's all these mates in here already. We just created this parallel mate, but the other four were already there. So now they're telling us we need to suppress one of those. So if you go down on your left menu here, I'm going to expand mine a little bit. So you go down here and you go down to mates at the bottom and you expand that by clicking that arrow. And then you're going to right click the parallel mate that we just created, actually. I guess they're just showing us how to do it. So right click that one, and then you're going to suppress it Um, let's see. And suppress is this little down arrow. So if I hover over that, you can see it says suppress next to it. Oh, it went away. There we go. So you'll click that, and then that mate will become grayed out. That means it's no longer an active mate. It's not actually constraining anything. So now we can wiggle our stuff around again and move it however we want because that mate is gone. Everyone get that? All right, cool. So now we're going to add a mechanical mate. Um, and that means we're going to go back up here to our mate logo, our mate icon in our assembly tab here. And you're going to click that. And then we're going to go down and we're not going to put anything in here. Let's actually get rid of that. I don't know why that's selected. So make sure there's nothing in this box right now when you first open it. If you've been clicking on anything over here, it'll show up in there. So if there's anything in that blue box right there, just delete it. And then you're going to go to Mechanical Mates. All right. And you're going to click the rack pinion option right here because as you can see, we have a rack and a pinion. Uh, so the option pitch diameter should be selected already. So that would be this first one, pinion pitch diameter. So you do not want rack travel / revolution selected. You want pinion pitch diameter. And then, so now this is some math. This, if you think about it, the pinion is a circle. So how do you get the uh, circumference of a circle? It's 2 times pi times the radius, or pi times the diameter is the circumference of a circle, right? I think I've got that right. So they're telling us, yeah, that is right. The option pinion pitch diameter should be selected. For each full rotation of the pinion, the rack translates a distance equal to pi multiplied by the pinion diameter. And the pinion's diameter appears in the window. So I guess our pinion diameter is that what's in that 1 millimeter window there? And then we're going to select the reverse option for some reason. Okay. So does that kind of make sense to everyone? As the pinion rolls, each full revolution is going to be, the length of the circumference along that straight rack. Does that kind of make sense? It's hard to explain, but all right. So now in our mate selections, we're going to um, it tells us specifically in the book. There's a picture there of what they want you to select. So for the pinion, well, let's do the rack first because that's the first one. So we want the top edge of the rack at the base of the teeth. So if we zoom in here, it's easier to select one of those edges. So you can see it turns orange, and you can zoom in as much as you need to in order to get your mouse on it. So go ahead and click that edge, and it's going to be, well, edge 1 in the book, but I've got edge 2 here. I think it doesn't matter. And then for the pinion, there's a circle. It's like a construction circle around the edge. It's that dotted line. And you're going to select that circle. Does everyone have that? All right, so you'll see when you zoom in, you can see this little dotted line around your pinion, and that's what you're going to select for the pinion window here, and it should say arc 6 at sketch 2 at gear 1. So it's a when they made this gear for this assembly, when they made up the exercise, they created that circle for us to make it easier for us to mate these two pieces together. So now you're going to click OK there, and it should, well, you can see these are not lined up with each other. My pinion is way back there behind my rack, and they're not parallel. But so mine's not working, and I think that's because I might have missed a step here. I'm not sure where I missed a step, but okay. So let's see. Trying to figure out what I missed because okay, so this parallel mate here, I guess they wanted us to create that so that everything would line up. So I'm going to unsuppress it. I'm going to go ahead and suppress it again because this won't turn like it's supposed to if it's got that parallel mate. But now it's on there and you can see it wants to do it, but there's something else missing. So it should be, yeah. So I think I might have missed something there. Let's go. So I'll click on this and I'll go edit feature. Oops, and we can go back in and make sure that we got everything right. So we got that rack pinion option selected. We have pitch diameter selected. And then we let's see. Is that oops. Oh yeah, yep, that's what we missed. Okay, cool. Thank you. So we're going to go mate and we're going to select the right planes just like we did with the front planes. We're going to go right plane and right plane. There we go. And then those should also be parallel. So make sure that parallel option is selected. Does everyone see what I just did? Anyone lost? All right. So, uh-oh. Okay, so I think let's see. Yeah, so once we make the right planes actually parallel, so um let's see. Do we want I think we only want to suppress one of them. So let me go through this again carefully here. So um Okay, yeah. So for our first one, let's unsuppress that first one. I just figured it out. This is a little confusing. So we're going to edit feature on that first parallel mate we did. And that one is actually going to be coincident. So the front planes, see if you go into this one, you've got front plane at rack 1 and front plane at gear 1, and you want those to be coincident. And then click OK on that. And then for the parallel mate, if we edit feature, we've got right plane at rack 1 and right plane at gear 1, and those should be parallel. And we'll click OK. And then that's the one that we want to suppress, is that parallel mate. And now they should do what they're supposed to do. So if I grab the bottom one, you can see the gear rolls along it like it's supposed to. Did everyone? Kind of does this funny optical illusion thing where it looks like it's actually spinning backwards. But is everyone there? Is anyone completely lost? Okay. Did you suppress the parallel mate? Okay. All right. So, let's see. Let's go back into that first. I think it's this one. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that might have been unclear. So if you go into that folder, let's see. If you go into that folder that I sent you, you've got the gear and you've got the rack. You've got those two parts, but then you've got this assembly file, and that's what you want to open. You don't want to open the rack and the gear. Don't worry about those. You just need those parts saved because those are the two parts that make up the assembly. So without having those saved somewhere, you won't be able to work with the assembly. But the assembly file is the one that you actually want to open. So the thing that this always, I feel like this every time this gets someone. Um, so the assembly file that they give you in that exercise folder, they've already preset several mates in there. Um, and there's so it's basically the idea is to just show you how to use that mechanical rack and pinion mate. Um, so there's some other stuff that they had to do with these specific parts in order to make it work, I think. Um, and we could reverse engineer it and do the same thing from scratch, but it's easier for this exercise to just open up that pre-made assembly that they give you. Um, Otherwise, you have to go back and create a whole bunch of these little simple, other mates that it's not really necessary to the exercise. So that makes sense. Yeah, I think mine is kind of doing that too. So let's try this. Let's go into our rack pinion mate here, and let's go edit feature. And remember they had us check that little reverse box? Let's uncheck that and see what happens. Does everyone see what I'm looking at here? So underneath your rack pinion mate, you've got pinion pitch diameter selected, and then this little box here with reverse next to it. Just uncheck that and click OK. Now let's see what happens. It kind of, so I think it's kind of the graphics here are kind of crummy because you can see mine goes the right way some of the time, but then if you speed up, it like starts going, looking like it's going backwards. But toward the ends here, it's fine. Like if I go slow. Do you see what are you able to see that on my screen? Is it clear enough? You see what I'm talking about? I think it's just like, the built-in graphics in here are kind of crummy. So oh, cool. Yeah, mine does the same thing no matter which way I put it. So I think yeah, I think it's just sort of crummy graphics, but we'll call it good. So, um, let's see. There's some more stuff here about creating linear motion. Um, you can like actually kind of make it move on its own. You can like move it and then play back the movement, and it's kind of nifty. So, let's go into that real quick and just kind of see what we can do. Um, so you're gonna stay in this view. You're gonna go down. See in the lower left corner here, you've got these three tabs. You've got Model, 3D Views, and then Motion Study 1. So let's click Motion Study 1. And you'll see it says isometric right here. There's this little XYZ axis in the corner. And so you're in the isometric view. That's what that means. So, all right. So if we go over to page 11.6, it'll tell us. Let's actually go back real quick. Okay. So see in the lower left corner here, I've got these three tabs. I've got Model, 3D Views, and I've got Motion Study 1. So click the Motion Study 1 tab. Right now you should be in the Model view here. But if you go over to Motion Study 1, then you'll get this cool little other menu at the bottom here. Ah, okay, yeah. So if you're currently editing a mate or something like that, then you won't be able to get into there. All right. So the screen is split into two viewports showing the animation program on the bottom. So you're going to click the motor button on the motion study toolbar. So let's see. If we go over here, let's expand this a little. And it tells us, oh, okay, it's over here. Which one is the motor? So it's this one here. It looks like a slot with a little arrow going down to it. So you're going to click that one. And you'll get this menu over here on the left, and it's going to say motor type, and you can choose rotary motion or linear motion. So we want the linear motion or actuator option. And then for component / direction, you're going to select the, let's see, it looks like the bottom edge of the rack down here, and you'll see this little red arrow pop up in the middle. And that's going to fill in right here and right here. And under the motion section, um, do default constant speed, the default option, which is constant speed. Um, you can also select these different other options, but I'm not really sure what they all do. Um, and then the speed is going to be 50 millimeters per second. Does everyone have that so far? Oops. All right. So once you have all that filled in, go ahead and click OK. And then once everybody's got that, then we can use playback mode to actually create a little animation with this. So I'll go ahead and click OK if everyone's ready. And then we're going to go down here to this menu again. And we're going to select playback mode, reciprocate. So if you use the little, so hover over this arrow, actually, and click the little down arrow next to it to get this menu. And you're going to click reciprocate, which is the third option. Does everyone see that? All right. So once you have that, you're going to click the play button and it should show you a little animation here. So here's the play button over here. It looks like just a regular play button. And it'll go from one end to the other. Does everyone see that? Kind of cool, huh? So, and then you can click stop to make it stop whenever. So, and this is kind of cool. If you stop it and it's somewhere in the middle like this, you can just keep going and it'll start from where it was. Or you can click play from start and it'll start over at the beginning. So, I don't know. Kind of silly, but kind of fun. All right. Any questions? Mhm. Yeah, you could. So you would have to do like you would have to add animations for each one, or for each movement. So like this right here is just two parts interacting, so it's really only one kind of movement, right? So when we created it, we created the motor here. Let's see if we can go to edit that. Edit feature, I think it's this one. Yeah, so all we did was we selected one edge to move this part, and this part, as we saw earlier because of the mate we created, when you move the rack, it moves the pinion. So all we did was create a motor that moves the rack. And when that moves, because of the mate that we made, the pinion is also going to move. So if you want multiple different things moving, unless they're all mated to each other so that they all have to move together, you would have to create separate motors and like play the different animations. But you could do that. It would just be, a uh, little more complex. Or you could, hmm yeah, yeah. You could also, create lots of mates between the different parts so that they all have to move together. So multiple ways to approach the same thing, I guess. But any other questions? All right. So let's go over the assignment for this week. Let's see if I even published it yet. I'm not sure. Okay, I have not. So, and because next week is a holiday, let's see, May 31st, there will be no class. So this lab will actually be due June 7th. Um, and our last class is going to be June 14th. That's when you'll get your final exam. So, so let's go ahead and set this for June 7th. And all right. So this is the assignment. Um, you're going to create your own assembly consisting of at least 4 parts that you designed. You may use one part that you've already designed. So if, like I was saying earlier, if you designed something for, for your lab, um, one of your labs in the past, and you want to use that part in your assembly, you can do that. But all 4 parts have to be your own design. And in order to turn it in, what you're going to want to do is save all 4 parts and the assembly file in one folder. Um, make copy that into a zip folder and submit that in Canvas. So I can actually show you real quick how to do that. So I just did it with this rack and pinion file so I could send it to you over Discord. But so you're going to save each of the 4 parts that you created and the assembly file. So you can see in here you've got the 2 parts from the exercise and the assembly file. You want them all to be in one folder. And then you can right click that folder and send to and go compressed or zipped folder. And I already did that, so that's what this one is here. And if I double click that, then the folder is in there. That's the best way to do it because otherwise the file is going to be too big, um, probably to submit the whole thing. Um, so that way you can just have one folder and you just submit it all at once. Does that make sense to everyone? Any questions? Cool. All right, great. So, if everyone's good, I'm gonna stop streaming now.